Well, hello. I am so glad you are here. Valentine's Day is a couple weeks away, but I couldn't help myself. I bought some candied hearts and put them in a jar, and I keep them on my counter because they look so pretty. So in this video, I'm going to show you some food prep of my fruits and vegetables. So it should be a lot of fun, and I hope you stay around, and I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, let me know. So here are some grapes, and I got these at Whole Foods. I took them off their stems and I washed them with my vegetable wash. So they're all clean and ready to eat, and I put them in this container. Let's see, we can see it. So grapes, what it says is you should have a little bit of water in the bottom and then the air vent closed. So that is what we will do. So these were my grapes that I got from Whole Foods, and I put them in a bowl with their vegetable wash, ran them with cold water, then rinsed them through a strainer, and then rinsed them a few times. And now they are ready to go. They're ready to be eaten, and we'll go on to our next one. Okay, so how do you store your bananas? I have this hook that comes down here, and then I can hang my bananas here, which is kind of handy. Gets them off the counter. How do you store your bananas? When they start to, if I don't use them in time, I will freeze them, and they're great for smoothies, banana bread. My little dog agrees. Okay, so you know what I love more than bananas? My hanging bananas? Blueberries. Okay, so these blueberries are all washed and they're put in a container, and it has a little filter in there right there to let some air go through, and then I put the lid on them, and they stay fresh in the refrigerator. And I like to wash everything in my veggie wash because you just never know. See, there it is. That's what the little filtration system looks like for my blueberries. That's how I store my blueberries. Okay, so now we move on to the shredded carrots, and I got these at Whole Foods, the 365 brand, which I just love, and I put them in this vegetable container. And I love vegetable containers, and these keep your vegetables nice and fresh. And I use the shredded carrots to sprinkle over our beautiful green salads. Okay, so now we're moving on to the green beans. Remember when I was having a problem finding the green beans? Well, I found them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out of this bag. These were also from Whole Foods, the 365 brand. And I'm going to put them in this container. And I put a paper towel on the bottom of it to keep the moisture level down. And this is what they look like, all ready to go, all ready to store. We love green beans. I love to steam them, put them in my crock pot, or just eat them raw. They're really good for you, and they last a while too, when you can find them. Okay, so now we are moving back to carrots. I got some baby carrots and some carrot chips, the 365 brand from Whole Foods. The chips are great just to dip in hummus, and the baby carrots I love to throw in the crock pot with a roast or some chicken, and they cook up so nicely. Okay, so now we're moving on to something that I just love to make. It's cucumbers in vinegar and water, and I put some garlic cloves in there too. And you could put all sorts of things. You could put dill, salt and pepper, any kind of seasoning you want. And it just looks so beautiful in this glass jar. And I put it in there, I put it in the refrigerator, and the longer it sits, the better they taste. So when you're ready to serve this, you can put it in a salad bowl, and you can also cut up some tomato and onion and add it to this. And this is really a refreshing salad, and it goes really well with heavier meals. And one of my most favorite fruits are strawberries. The thing about strawberries is, though, I like to wash them as I serve them so they have a greater life span in my refrigerator, so to speak. But here is my cantaloupe and my pineapple and my berries, my strawberries, and I will wash those as I serve them. Those are my cucumbers, and they're all in They're all in their vegetable and fruit containers. And here is celery, and it's all clean and cut, and I save the leaves because they are so good for soups, for juicing, for the Vitamix. They taste so good, and there's nothing like fresh celery. So now we are coming upon my broccoli, and I use a lot of broccoli. I steam it, I roast it, I put it in soups, I eat it raw, I put it in salad. It is one of the most versatile vegetables, and they're hearty and they stay a while in the refrigerator, and I love them with mushrooms. And then here, of course, are my watermelon radishes, and these were so fun, and I'm going to cut into them and show you exactly what they look like in the center, and they are beautiful. I have to say the purple ones were absolutely gorgeous, and they made the dinner salad look so pretty with all the colors of the rainbow in my salad. Just look at that vibrant color. And they taste just like radishes. They just taste really good and refreshing. And if you see them in the store, see if you can grab some up and try them. And let me know. They're really, really good. And they were really fun to add into my salad. And we cannot forget one of my favorite vegetables, asparagus. So what I did was I got this from Costco, and it's a big bag. So I take it, and you can either snap the ends off or you can cut them, and I chose to cut them this time. And I just line them up and I cut them straight across, and then I'm going to put them in this container lined with paper towels. Oh, and before I forget, at Whole Foods, I found this micro rainbow mix, and this was such a delight. It added such a flavor of summer to our salads, and they are so good for you. There's no pesticides. They're grown with purpose, and that is something I just love, when things are grown for purpose. And these were so good, and I'm showing you some of the information on the back so you can see for yourself that these were just such a wonderful buy. And if you see these in the store, grab these up. These taste so good. You can put them on sandwiches and on your salad and in soups, and you can juice them and you can put them in your Vitamix, but these are just so yummy. So I just wanted to show you these. I got these at Whole Foods. Okay, so now where were we? Back to the asparagus, one of my favorite vegetables. So they're all cut and trimmed and put in their container, ready to go. One of my favorite ways to cook the asparagus is to put them in the Ninja Foodie, and they cook it in about 6 minutes, super quick, and they come out so crisp and so yummy. I put a little garlic on it with some olive oil. Perfect. Okay, so here my cherries are in the bowl of water, and they are going to get cleaned. I'm not particularly a fan of cherries, but my family is, so I will wash these and get them all ready for them to eat. Okay, do you remember the other day when I bought artichokes? They were 2 for $4 at Sprouts. I am going to cook them tonight with dinner, and I don't know, have any of you ever made these? Cooked them, cut them? I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, so I just washed them with some vegetable spray and some water. So what I do is I get a good knife, and I have my favorites. This happened with looks okay. This is my favorite knife. I know it's probably not the best. It's the one I don't know. It's the one I always go to. So you cut the stems off, and I don't know what you can do with these. You could maybe boil them and with your vegetables for your stock. Then you have them like that. Now on the artichokes, there's all these little pokies, and you want to cut those off. So you can get even a bigger knife, sharper knife, and you want to go about that way, and then you cut straight down, and cut all that off. And then you do the same with this one. You just go. Am I shaking you? I'm sorry. Okay. So then you get that off. And then you get your kitchen shears. Now, these I got at Costco. These are not actually kitchen shears. I just use them just for my kitchen. And you cut off the sharp part. And you keep going around and around until there are no more sharp spots. Now, with these artichokes, you can stuff them if you want, like with breadcrumbs, garlic, cheese. What I do is I'm very simple. I just steam them, just like this. And my kids just like to dip it in butter. Now me, I like to dip it in mayonnaise. Oops, because I love mayonnaise. You can give me a bowl of mayonnaise and I'll eat it like ice cream. I would rather have mayonnaise than a bowl of ice cream. Anyway, ice cream doesn't sit very well with me. I can't say I'm lactose intolerant because I can eat cheese. I don't know. But you just keep cutting these and cutting these until they are all gone. It's really easy. And do you know how to eat these when they're done? When you're steaming them, to check when they're done, while they're cooking. Oh, she's barking. Hold on. Okay. I think a squirrel ran by the door. But when you're cooking them, when they're getting close to being done, they will open up a little bit. But when you can... Hey, sweetie heart. When you can easily pull one of these leaves off is when they're done. When these leaves pull off very easily. And you know, when you pull it off and then you scrape it on the bottom of your teeth. That's how you eat them. You eat the meat off the leaf. You can Google it. I'm sure there's 1,000,001 videos of people eating artichokes. And recipes how to stuff them. I just steam them with water. I'm sure you could steam them with chicken broth. Vegetable broth. But yeah, you just make sure that they're trimmed. Look like little flowers. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I have steamed these artichokes every which way you can think of. I have been making them pretty much my entire adult life. And you can steam them in a rice cooker. You can steam them in your Instant Pot. You can cook them in your crock pot. I like to cook them the old-fashioned way. I put them in a pan with my steamer basket, just like so. I put the artichokes in there. I fill it up with water and I steam them. And I steam them until they pull apart tender. Now, sometimes it can take longer or shorter. It depends on, I don't know, sometimes I think if they're in abundance, like if it's their time of year, they steam a lot easier than not. So you just fill it up with some water. You steam them. You put a lid on it. You simmer, steam. Okay, so once the water starts to boil, I guess, then you turn it down and you put the lid on it and then you let it steam. I can't tell you how long it takes because I've been making these so long. I will try and be aware of how long it takes to steam them. And I will try and update you. But this is how I do the artichokes. And the artichoke heart, after you pick all the leaves out and scoop out the choke, you want to scoop out the choke that's in the very center, that hairy part, because that's why it's an artichoke. You don't want to choke on it. But you eat the bottom, the heart down here, and it's the best part. I think it's the best part. So there you have it. Okay, let's check and see if these are ready. It is 4:08. I'm gonna take the lid off. I turned it off. And sometimes, okay, first let me see. You take, it's still a little, it's not very easy to pull off. So that just means they need to steam a little longer. Those are hot. Hot, hot, hot. Sometimes when you pour water over it, they open up a little bit, but they need to cook longer. Maybe because I had it so low. They're supposed to pull off super easy, and they're not doing it. Okay. Well, all right. I'm gonna let them steam for a little longer. If you have a steamer, I know they steam up quicker. I'll turn it back on. Okay, I'll come back. Okay, let's check these artichokes. It is 4:25. Oh, look, a leaf fell. Oh, 2 leaves fell. That could be a good sign. So, oh, there you go. Took a little over an hour, about an hour. So, you scrape this part on your bottom teeth and you get the meat out. So if there's stuffing in there, you get all the stuff. You pull the leaf out with all the cheese and the breadcrumbs and the garlic, Parmesan cheese, whatever kind of cheese, I guess. I imagine there's a plethora of recipes for stuffed artichokes. We like them plain. Okay, so get back in there. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to get the rest of my dinner together. I veered off my menu plan for a little bit. I'm making fried chicken. One of my kids was craving fried chicken, so I'm making fried chicken. And then I have some macaroni and cheese with broccoli, and then I have steamed artichokes and a salad. I'm going to make a Caesar salad tonight, so I will show you when it's done. Okay, so now I'm super excited to share one of my most beloved recipes for ranch dressing. Okay, so here I am going to show you how I make my ranch dressing, and it is probably the best ranch dressing ever. So here is the recipe, and it's 1.5 cups of mayonnaise, 1/2 cup of buttermilk, 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and don't use garlic salt or onion salt or it'll be too salty. Make sure it's the powder. A tablespoon of dried parsley, 1/2 teaspoon of dill, and I use a little bit more than 1/2 teaspoon, and I actually use fresh dill. I use fresh. And you can get fresh dill at grocery stores or Whole Foods, at Sprouts. If you get it at Whole Foods, it's just beautiful. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which is optional. I have salt, and I don't salt my food. I make the salt available so people can salt their food, their own, but I don't like to use much salt. And then 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper and a dash of paprika. And then you just mix all the ingredients together, and then you put it in a container in the refrigerator, and I let it sit, you know, until the next day, and then it's so good, and you use it within about a week. But so I have my 1.5 cups of mayonnaise, and I use mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip, and any mayonnaise will do. And then 1/2 cup of buttermilk, any kind of buttermilk will do. And so you put that all in a bowl, and then you add your tablespoon of red wine vinegar and your tablespoon of sugar and your pepper, just like so, and your onion powder and your garlic powder and your dried parsley, and last but not least, the dill. And you can even add more dill. after you mix it all together. If you feel like you need more dill, you put more dill in it. I think that's the best part, is the dill. And then you mix it all together, and you have this really great ranch dressing. So I'm gonna put my camera down for a second, and I'm gonna mix it all up. Or maybe I can do it one-handed. I don't know, I'm not very good one-handed. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have it all mixed, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in a jar like this, and I got this jar from IKEA, and they come in all sizes. You can put them in a ball jar, any jar, Tupperware, I imagine. There's the recipe, and I will have it also on my blog, My Daily Life as a Wife and Mother, and I will also put it in the description box. Let me put a little dash of paprika in it. There we go. And you let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, and you can even make it and serve it right away. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just the flavor tends to get better in time. And it will last, you know, for about a week, maybe a little longer, but I guarantee you it won't last because it's so good. So if you like ranch dressing, you will love, love, love this recipe. Okay. Well, y'all have a happy day, and I'm so glad you came by. And I will see you next time. I will see you on the other side. Bye. Okay, one more thing before I hang up. I thought that was funny. One more thing before I hang up. This is what it looks like in the jar. And I think it's just so pretty, and there's so much love put into it because it is homemade by you. And let me see if I can do this one-handed. Probably not. But if I put this down, I can do this just like that. And there you have your homemade ranch dressing. Here is the recipe, and it is on my blog, and I'll put it in the description box. And it is so yummy. You can put it on salad, you can put it on sandwiches, you can dip your vegetables in it, your chicken wings. It really is one of the best ranch dressings ever, if not the best. I've been making it for 2 decades now, and if you Google salad dressings, you can make any dressing out there. You can make the Thousand Island, you can make the Green Goddess, you make buffalo ranch, add some hot sauce to this. Isn't this pretty with all the dill in there and the parsley? Okay, I'm gonna go for now. I gotta wash these dishes. And oh, one more thing. If you have an abundance of dill, like I did last time from Whole Foods, you can dry it in your dehydrator, and you put it in another little jar like this, and it'll last forever, for a very long time. I do that with a lot of my herbs. Okay, bye-bye.